Welcome everyone. Today we will complete a writing task. The learning target for today is I can write a paragraph to compare the main idea and supporting details of two texts. Comparing and contrasting across two texts. Prior to completing today's lesson, you should have read Water on Earth and Why Water is So Valuable. We will use this information from these two texts to support our writing. If you have not read these two texts, you may want to stop the video and read the text before moving further. In addition to reading the text from the previous slide, you are also responsible for completing this note catcher for each text. If you have not completed the note catcher, you may want to stop and complete this task prior to proceeding with today's lesson. We will use the information from your note catchers to support our writing. In addition to reading the two texts from the previous slide and completing the note catcher for each text, you were also asked to complete an exit ticket that allowed you to note similarities and differences between Water on Earth and Why Water is So Valuable. If you have not completed the exit ticket, you may want to stop and complete this task prior to proceeding with today's lesson. We will use the information from the exit ticket to support our writing. Here is the writing prompt for today's lesson. What are the similarities and differences between the main idea and supporting details of Water on Earth and Why Water is So Valuable? Your work around reading the two articles using the note catcher and completing the exit ticket will support you as you synthesize information from both texts to be able to answer the writing prompt that you see here. Let's do a quick review of possible responses or answers to the note catcher and the exit ticket. We will then revisit this writing prompt. Let's begin by examining your responses within your note catcher for why water is so valuable. Let's check to see if you were able to identify main ideas and supporting details for this text. Here is a possible response for your note catcher. I found two main ideas when reading this text. The first main idea is, we need fresh water to survive. The second main idea is, groundwater is hard to access. The supporting details for we need fresh water to survive. 60% of the human body is water. The human brain is made up of 70% water. Blood contains more than 80% water. The supporting details for groundwater is hard to access. Groundwater can be from a few feet to more than a few miles underground. Groundwater does not always have a consistent flow. Lakes sometimes dry up or are tapped out quickly and are not replenished by Earth's precipitation. A lot of money and technology is needed to get water to Earth's surface. How close were your responses on your note catcher? Your answers do not have to be worded exactly, but it is important to revisit any main ideas and ensure that you have supporting details to go along with what you have chosen. Let's examine your responses within your note catcher for Water on Earth. Let's check to see if you were able to identify main ideas and supporting details for this text. Here is a possible response for your note catcher. Main idea. The water cycle shows how water moves through Earth's land, oceans, and atmosphere. Supporting details. Water exists in many forms. It is in lakes and rivers, glaciers and sheets, and oceans and seas. It is also found underground and as a gas in the air and clouds. Main idea number 2. The water cycle has 3 parts: evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Supporting details. Evaporation changes liquid to gas called water vapor when water from the lakes, oceans, and rivers is heated by the sun. Condensation changes gas to a liquid when the water vapor condenses and forms a cloud. Precipitation happens when any liquid or solid water falls to earth as rain, snow, or hail. We can use the information we have gathered from both note catchers to begin to think about how we can complete the sentence frames to form our paragraphs. The main idea of text is blank. The supporting details are blank, blank, and blank. Don't forget to use your note catcher. Pause the video and write your response on your paper. A sample response is: the main idea of why water is so valuable is we need fresh water to survive. The supporting details are 60% of the human body is water, the human brain is made up of 70% water, and blood contains more than 80% water. We can use the same sentence frame for our second text as well. The main idea of text is: the supporting details are blank, blank, and blank. The main idea of water on earth is blank. Use the same approach for this text to complete your main idea and supporting details as you did for the previous text. Pause the video and write your response on your paper. Now it's time to consider how your exit ticket can help you complete your paragraph. Let's examine a possible response for your exit ticket. The similarities between the two texts are: the main ideas from both texts include information about the importance of water on earth. Supporting details from both texts tell about how water is needed and used on earth. The differences between the two texts are: the supporting details in Water on Earth mostly discuss the stages of the water cycle. The main idea and details in why water is so valuable mostly explain why water is important. How close were your responses for your exit ticket? Your answers do not have to be worded exactly, but it is important to revisit any main ideas and ensure that you have supporting details to go along with what you have chosen. We can use the information we have gathered from the exit ticket to think about how we might respond to this sentence frame. The two texts have some blank, but there are also some blank. While the blank are similar, the blank are different. Take a minute and think about how you would complete these two sentences. Pause the video and write your response on your paper. A sample response is: the two texts have some similarities, but there are also some differences. While the main ideas are similar, the supporting details are different. Did you have a different way of thinking about what you could say to finish these two sentences? Your note catchers, along with your exit ticket, will help you as you continue your work. We can use the information we have gathered from the exit ticket and the note catcher to think about how we might respond to this sentence frame. This sentence frame helps us to expand on how we know that there are similarities and differences between the two texts. For example, water on Earth's main idea is similar to why water is so valuable because, however, the supporting details in water on Earth are different from water is so valuable because. Take a minute and think about how you would complete the sentence frame. Pause the video and write your response on your paper. You might say, for example, water on Earth's main idea is similar to why water is so valuable because they both are about ways that water is important. However, the supporting details in water on Earth are different from why water is so valuable because it discusses the stages of the water cycle. Now that we have had a chance to review our work, let's look back at our writing prompt for today. We used what we learned by using our note catchers and our exit ticket along with the text to help us write our paragraph. Now that we are done with our writing practice for today, let's reflect on our learning. Give a thumbs up or thumbs down if you mastered today's learning target. Thank you, and until next time, have a great day.